The following program is being brought to you on the Voice America Business Channel. For more information about our network and to check our additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit voiceamericabusiness.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the following program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.
Forbes magazine recently reported that there were 1,210 billionaires in the U.S. collectively. They were worth over $4.5 trillion. America continues to be the world's largest economy and boasts the lion's share of this ultra-rich class of people. In spite of this fact, an estimated 46.2 million people in America are living in poverty today. Where are we going wrong, and what can we do about it? Welcome to Wealth Solutions for the 99% with your host, Paul LaJoy. Let us show you some of the strategies that will set you on the path to building personal wealth. These are proven strategies that are working for others and can work for you too. Now, here is your host, Paul LaJoy.
Good morning. This is Paul LaJoy, your real estate consultant for life. I'm so happy to welcome you to the show as I do every week. And you notice that we moved from the empowerment channel to the business channel, and there's a reason for that. But we still want to empower you, give you knowledge every week on this show that will take you to the next level. If after listening to the show you don't get something from it, please call me and let me know, why you did not gain something. Today is a content-packed show, and I want to share with you a lot of things. But let me start first by summarizing the last two shows that we had. Last two shows, 2 Saturdays ago, we had Mr. Andrew Waite, is a publisher of the Personal Real Estate Magazine, Real Estate Investor Magazine. Mr. Andrew Waite has lived in America for 40 years, 25 years of which he has been doing real estate. And a lawyer by profession, he's now the publisher of the #1 trade magazine for investors in America. This week they're having a show over there in Chicagoland, where there are immense opportunities for people who want to get into real estate. Can you imagine that? Yesterday I was reading his magazine, and I was astounded by the different ways that people are investing right now. And basically, where do you put your money when you have money? Where do you put your money? Do you put your money in a savings account or in a checking account? Where do you put your money? Put your money in IRA? Do you put your money in IRA? Okay, or you put your money in 401k? Where is the best way to put your money right now? This week, I was writing a check out to one of my associates, and I saw $17,000. That's a commission check, $17,000. I said, wow, you really lucked out here. How much did you sell this property? He said, $485. Wow, you really? So this investor, how much did she buy this property? He said, $189,000. This person bought a property for $189,000. I said, how much did she spend? He said she spent like $50K, $60K. This woman grows. Actually, she netted, after all is said and done, more than $200,000. And this is the first transaction she had with our firm here in the Bay Area. That's why I'm so ecstatic. I'm ecstatic to see people successful, and I just wanted her to give me some testimonial. That means a lot to me. Give me a testimonial. Tell me how happy you are. The first investment you've had with our firm, and you have netted $200,000 in less than 6 months. I'm not saying that everybody who invests with us makes this amount of money, but I'm saying this is a typical example. This is one example of somebody who knows what they're doing. The buyer who bought this property didn't buy it cash, but they've been looking for a long time. They found this property. This lady did an impeccable job with one of our contractors. She was there every day, and she did really marvelous. Can you imagine? Now she's doing a third, or I think at least second property, and it's going very well too. Even if she does not make $200,000, but she makes $100,000. Can you imagine? She's made $300,000 in a very short time. How many people in America can boast of making $300,000 a year? And this lady loves what she does. Just goes there. She doesn't do anything, just watches the contractors and the subcontractors do the work. She just tells them what she wants done, and they do the stuff. How amazing is that? Now, can you get that from your 401k, where somebody else is managing your stuff? Can you get that from your IRA? I don't think you can. Can you get that from your savings account? Can you get that from your CD? I don't think so. Can you get that from the stock market? I don't think so. Can you get that from the treasury bonds? Okay, I don't think so. I don't think so. But you can get that in real estate. You make your money when you buy. And you know what happened in 2008, 2009, 2010? People lost their shirts in real estate. That's because they did not buy right. They bought emotionally. But in this market, this current market, even that market offered immense opportunities for the savvy buyer. You make your money when you buy, not when you sell. That's amazing. Okay? That's just simply amazing. I don't know about you. We talk about wealth solutions for the 99%, and I'm your host, Paula Joy. Today, as I said, we have a whole slew of things to talk about. Talk about a summary of the last two shows. Mr. Andrew Wade, as I said, he was, the first one of the first guests that we had on the show, and he talked about the real estate market and how it is vibrant across the nation. This week, as I said, he is in Chicago with a whole bunch of people, you know, um, taking advantage of this market as it is. How about you? I don't know. What are you doing? Are you taking advantage of this market? I think it's just fabulous. Fabulous. Last week, I had my good friend, Mr. Mr. Louis Bartis, who is a private money lender. Private money lender. Louis talked about how he joined real estate in 2005. 2005 and around 2009, he started to do private money lending. And initially, you know, um, he and his associates raised $6 million. And as of last week, Lewis and his associates have raised over $95 million. $95 million. Isn't that crazy? When the average agent only makes $35,000, $37,000, here you have Lewis, the president of his company, raising $95 million. It's very easy to make money in real estate if you know what you're doing. So if you did not listen to that show, I strongly encourage for you to go back and listen to it. We have all the shows. The show with Mr. Louis Bartis and the show with Mr. Andrew Waite are all on the website. Go to voiceamerica.com and look for Wealth Solutions for the 99%. Wealth Solutions for the 99%. Okay, that's amazing. All right, today we're going to summarize the real estate market here in the Bay Area. I am here in the Bay Area, and I don't know where you listen to me right now, but you can listen to me online by going to voiceamerica.com, right? And looking for Paula Joy or Wealth Solutions for the 99%. All right? Because I live here in the Bay Area, and California is, I think, basically in terms of the economy, in terms of everything, California is the top in America. And if California were to be independent, it would be among the top 15 richest nations in the world. So I love what I do, and I love being here in the Bay Area. So I want to talk about the market as I see it. So I'm summarizing the market here, basically in my neck of the woods here in Fremont, Newark, and Union City. Okay, so just pay attention and listen. Okay, we've seen that basically listings are a little bit up right now. We're seeing a lot of activity in the real estate market. Some people are saying that the market has slowed down a little bit. Okay, yes, it has slowed down a little bit from what it was. I think it's kind of crazy in the last 2 weeks or so. It slowed down a little bit, but what we've seen is that basically the inventory levels are massively low in compared to other states. Actually, compared to other parts of America, the inventory levels are low here. But around America, you have inventories are low everywhere. But from 2011 to 2013, we see that inventories are low here in the Bay Area, very, very low. I think basically Fremont, for example, has lost, and basically changed from 2012 to 2013. June, I'm talking about June figures here, you have a decrease of 26%. What is that? Okay, Newark has seen a decrease of listings, from June 2012 to June 2013 of 13%. Union City has seen a decrease of 20%. You know, that is, what does that mean? I mean, people are not putting their properties on the market when the values are really increasing, so it's baffling. Um, so we got to find out about that, right? And then, well, how about listings month to month, right? We see only about 119 properties right now in Fremont. Well, that's an increase, a little bit of an increase from month to month increase from April, May. So we have more properties listed in June, more properties listed in June in Fremont, Union City, and even Newark. You know, but sale activity also has improved a little bit from last year, and we're seeing, of course, that Fremont, Union City, and Newark have seen year-to-year change in sales activity. Basically, we see here that's a 6% decline in Fremont, 24% decline in Newark, and of course, Union City has a 41% increase. That's amazing. All right. So, what does that mean? What does that mean to you? I think basically, if you're an agent, you need to go out and tell people that it's a great market and that they should really put their properties on the market because you still have a very strong, extremely robust buyers demand. Okay, so the demand for from buyers is pretty high. I mean, but even though we're seeing some kind of slowdown lately, however, the demand I think is very, very high because prices are very high. Now it's about time that people put their properties on the market, right? We've seen a decline in terms of our short sales, right? In terms of our REOs, we have more equity sales right now than we had, before. So, for example, we see that 83% in Fremont, okay, 83% of all sales in Fremont are equity sales, okay, as compared to just about 16% of short sales, distressed sales in total likely. So that would be about 12% of short sales, 4% of REOs. So that number has gone down a lot. Number of REOs. So the market is robust. So people out there should be excited about this market and go out and encourage people to put their properties in the market. How about your market? Right? What's going on in your market? So when we come back, we're going to talk about different things that you can do to actually increase your portfolio in terms of real estate. You listen to Voice. We listen to Wealth Solutions for the 99% with your host, Paula Joy. The number to call is 866-472-6790, 866-472-6790. When we come back, we're going to talk about the things that I discussed in my book, things to invest in. We just talked about how short sales have dwindled, how distressed sales in general have dwindled. So, for example, I say there's only 16% of all sales in Fremont were distressed sales, as opposed to 40%. You have 40% of all sales in Newark, for example, were distressed sales, and 37% in Union City were distressed sales. So you still have opportunity there. I'm going to talk to you about how you can still make money, in distressed sales because you still have short sales and you still have people that are upside down in their value, okay, in the value of their home. All right, but I'll talk to you when we come back. We're going to take a quick break right now, and when we come back, we're going to discuss more about ways to make money in real estate right now. Right now. This is Paula Joy.
Be sure to friend us on Facebook. You can do it right now. Visit facebook.com/Voice America or search for us at keyword Voice America.
Dialogue is the single most powerful leadership tool we have to make a difference in the world. Leading Conversations with host Cheryl Esposito creates a place for that dialogue. Tune into the Voice America Business Channel every Friday as Cheryl hosts new conversations among leaders from around the world in business, government, art, economics, and social change. We'll explore big ideas and everyday actions and learn how their own leadership has led them to discover a newfound sense of possibility in the world. Leading Conversations with Cheryl Esposito, bringing big thinkers together in conversations that make a difference right here on the Voice America Business Channel every Friday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Costa, host of the Costa Report every Tuesday at 6 a.m. and again at 6 p.m. This week, my guest is outspoken former congressman and one of our country's most prominent gay public figures, Mr. Barney Frank. He'll be with us to talk about the Supreme Court's ruling on DOMA and how the Obama presidency is doing in its second term. Don't miss Barney Frank this Tuesday at 6 a.m. and again at 6 p.m. on the Voice America Business Channel.
What's going on behind the scenes with your favorite Voice America show or host? For the latest news, visit the iRadio blog at iradioblog.com.
You are tuned in to Wealth Solutions for the 99% with Paul LaJoy. We'd love to hear from you on today's program. Please call in to 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. Or email us at lajoysolutions@gmail.com. Now, back to Wealth Solutions for the 99%.
Okay, so welcome back to Wealth Solutions for the 99% with your host, Paul LaJoy. All right, so before the break, we talked about, we summarized the market as it is in here in San Francisco Bay Area. Okay, cool. We talked about how we've seen sales going up a little bit, but not strong enough as opposed to the previous years. Okay, we've seen how the market is doing in terms of, REOs, short sales compared to equity sales. All right, so we're going to talk about right now what is happening in terms of financing. Financing, we got more cash buyers than we ever had before. But what is happening? A lot of people think priced out of this market because of cash buyers. But no, it's not really. When it comes to properties that are above $729,000, guess what? You have more conventional buyers than cash buyers. A whole bunch, like 90%, close to 90% are conventional buyers. Right? We have people talk about FHA buyers. Not a lot of FHA buyers, especially for price ranges that are about $700,000, right? And not a lot of FHA buyers because the FHA limit is actually just about 625 here in California. All right. So how about when it comes to 417 or below, you have more cash buyers. You have more cash buyers than you have, conventional buyers. Actually, you have more cash buyers than you have FHA buyers. I think FHA buyers have really, that number for FHA buyers is very, very low. All right. But you have a lot of conventional buyers even there. So guess what? If you have money, 20% conventional buyers, it doesn't mean that you have 20% down. Actually, you can have as low as just 5% and that you're considered a conventional buyer. Isn't that amazing? Anyways, so right now I want to talk about other ways, that I mentioned in my book. Say it's impossible to report in America. So I just, the first half of the show, I talked about, the market summary, okay, the two shows that I had before and stuff. But let's talk about my book. It's impossible to report in America, right? In that book, I talk about the first way to make money in real estate is through short sales. We just said that short sales are still, basically in vogue. They're still there. They're not going to go away. They're never going to go away because you're going to have somebody who's over leveraged. Right now, people talk about refinancing your property. Refinance your property. Okay, cool. So you cannot refinance your property if you don't have equity in your property, of course. But you're still going to have some people who are going to be upside down. You still have a lot of properties that are upside down. So you can make money in short sales, right? How about trustee sales? Right? You'll be amazed how many people have equity in their property, but they're letting it go, letting it go. So just last week, so there's a client who wanted us to list his property and sell it as a short sale. But guess what? The bank decided, no, they're not going to take the short sale. They're going straight to foreclosure. And I don't understand the rationale behind that. So trustee sales offer you that opportunity to actually make money, basically using real estate. Okay. How about REOs? We just mentioned that we have REOs there, still there right now in this market. So basically, you can buy REOs from any, it depends on where you are. You can buy REOs, you can buy trustee sales. And how about bulk REOs? I was reading yesterday about this. You have hedge funds buying. They went into all these markets. They went to Atlanta, to places like Dallas, were buying up properties a market value. Even attended a webinar where, they say you can make a lot of money by just representing these hedge funds. Hedge funds are buying right now. So, and then of course, you can buy notes from hedge funds. So hedge funds are buying properties, but they're also buying notes. So how do you make money? You can align yourself with hedge funds, right? So basically, this is the things that we can do. But and of course, we have private money lending. I talked about that last week. I talked about having my good friend on the show, Mr. Louis Badders, who talked about how he raised $95 million in recent weeks alone, right? We talked about tax liens, and we talk about probate. These are things ways that you can make money. Become a real estate agent. And becoming a real estate agent offers you an opportunity to make a lot of money. And on the show with me today, we have Mr. Basil Yakub. Mr. Basil Yakub, I know him very well. And he is basically one of the top agents here in the San Francisco Bay Area. And we're going to be talking to him. And he will share with you some of the secrets that he has. This guy is only 26 years old. A very responsible person, father of one child so far. I think his child's 2 years old. But he's kicking butt here, and he will share with us, the secrets of his success and some of those things that have made him successful, and some of the things that we'll talk about in the book. So, without further ado, maybe we can. Hey, Basil, are you on the show?
Hi, Paul. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How about yourself?
Great.
Thanks for waking up so early this morning to be on the show.
No problem.
I'm so excited to have you on the show, Basil.
So am I.
I say I'm so excited. Yes. So, as you know, NAR, National Association of Realtors, says that the average agent in America made just about $37,000 in 2011. I don't know the figure in 2012, but I'm sure it's very close to that. But for you, man, you make quite a bit every year, and you make money in different ways. Just as a salesperson, you make money as an investor. And last week we had Louis Badders, our good friend, who talked about how he was able to raise $95 million, right now. He started real estate in 2005. But, in 2009, he went to private money lending. And that's one of the things I talk about in my book. So how about you? What has made you so successful? Can you share with our audience today?
Sure, absolutely. As you know, two main businesses. One is the brokerage side, which is just the sales side, and the other major side is the flipping side. Since 2009, I've been flipping properties left and right. Any opportunity that you can get where you can even break even or make a little bit of money is something that you got to do, and that's how I did it. Some properties I made only a little bit of money. Some properties I made quite a bit amount of money. So, given the opportunity, I've always jumped into these kind of projects. So the flipping side is something that can make you very, very successful if you've got the integrity and the determination to focus on it and get it done, no matter what the economy is. These kind of properties always exist on the market. So even back in 2009, 2010, when as you remember, when the inventory was high, every other property was bank loan property. We used to buy them left and right. Right now, inventory is very tight, barely short sales, barely foreclosures, yet we're still buying properties. It doesn't have to be foreclosures. It could be any property. It could be a regular conventional sale where the seller just never kept the property up to date. Heck, we've bought properties that have been up to date. All we had to do is probably just stop it and pay. I bought some properties and I'm sure you have too, just bought it and sold it as is, didn't have to do anything. So it all depends on the determination that you have in the market.
So you have bought some short sales, right? And how is that right now? How's your short sale activity? We're going to talk about, one by one. Short sales. You made money doing short sales and stuff like that. So in terms of the flipping side, how's that helped you? Short sales have been good to you?
Short sales have probably been the best, especially within the last 6 to 8 months. When we used to go into contract on short sale properties back in 2009, 10, and 2011, we were buying slightly below market value, and then we were flipping at market value. However, whatever properties we have gotten into within the last, say, 12 months on short sales have been far below market value and have been deep discounted because we got into contract at last year's prices. And as you know, from last year to this year, on an average, a Bay Area city, the prices have gone up more than 30%. So if you've gotten into a property, for example, for $300,000 on a short sale contract, automatically, without doing anything, that property is worth $400,000 today. So that has been the biggest money maker that we've had, especially within the last 20 years.
That's interesting. Yeah, because I remember I was in contract on a property here in Newark last year, and we picked it up for $227,000, and I think we spent something like $50,000-$60,000, and it's gonna be on the market the following week for. I mean, these agents are telling me they're gonna list the property for me for $500,000. I think that's a little bit too much, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that, right?
Of course.
It's amazing. It's amazing. How about trustee sales? I know that there's one typical example that you have here in Fremont. Tell us a little bit about trustee sales. What's happening? Are you still very active in trustee sales?
Oh yes. Definitely competition has gone up, but again, determination and integrity is what you need to keep focusing on that. We still buy a few a month off of the trustee sale. One of the examples that you also know is the property on Marjorie Drive that we bought a few months ago. I believe we bought it the day before, the day after Thanksgiving in November. We literally did not spend $1 on the property. The only thing that we did was pay off the tenant $2,000 cash or keys to leave the property. That's the only thing that we had to do. Obviously, when we bought this trustee sale, we had not seen the inside, so we had no idea what the property was going to look like. Right. But what we did is we sold the property while it was still occupied. The buyers went and looked at the property. I had listed the property on the market for $399. We sold the property for $485,000 without spending $1 in that property. So trustee sales, obviously, you have to take a huge risk by buying a property without looking at it. But there's a huge upside. It could go either way. But as long as, again, you've got the determination to do it, you will get it done. Another example, bought a property in Stockton, sight unseen. We went to the property. The property was completely trashed. Cost me thousands of dollars just to clean it up. But we bought it at a good price. We spent the money to get it done. It's back on the market. Stockton, as you know, it's the lower end of the market. You buy cheap, but guess what? You sell cheap as well. ROI is probably higher. Dollar amount is lower, but it's the volume that counts.
That's amazing. Trustee sales have been very beneficial to you. And if you're listening to the show today, especially if you're an agent, we ask you to really pay attention to what Basil and myself are talking about right now. Basil happens to be a real estate agent here at Pacific Realty Partners, and has been with me since 2008, and he's kicking butt year after year. I don't know about you, but I think he's talking about determination and integrity. If you have a determination and you carve out a niche for yourself, you can be successful, as Basil exemplifies. So, Basil, we talk about REOs as well. So, what's happening? How's your REO activity right now? I was just before you joined me, I was saying that, okay, in Fremont, Union City, and Newark, we've seen the REO market go down a little bit. For example, in Fremont, all distressed sales account only for 16%. But in Newark, distressed sales accounted for 40%. So from June last year to June this year, 40%. That includes short sales as well. And then in Union City, that was 37%. Out of which you have REOs. REOs constituted 4%, very low in Fremont, 13% in Newark, and 10% in Union City. So how's your REO activity? Are you seeing a lot of REOs? What's going on?
REO activity is extremely, extremely low. We've got direct contact with asset managers with Wells Fargo and Chase. And they do mention that there is some REO inventory which is stuck at phases, for example, eviction status, or where the previous owners have filed lawsuits. So there is some inventory. California inventory is probably one of the lowest throughout the state. But generally, yes, REO inventory has dived down, and And just like you said, short sale inventory is a little bit is still there. You can still see it here and there. Even people who bought back in 2007 are also doing a short sale these days because, of course, market dipped down, but then market came back up. However, we're losing a lot of short sales to conventional sales because when people find out that, oh, all of a sudden my property value has gone up 33%, now it's a conventional sale. So you have to be pretty smart about it, where you go in and you still structure the deals where you still buy it at a pretty decent price, even though it's a conventional sale.
Right. So, you know what? I just went to one of the properties, that short sale that I mentioned in Newark that I had an escrow for, about for 227, and now we're gonna list it for about 450 or so. I went there and I saw this morning at 8 a.m. and I saw some signs for sale signs. There's a property just next door, and another one's coming up. They have a sign, a post out there. No sign yet. So, what would you say in a nutshell? I mean, I helped you to make more money than other agents because I cannot tell agents, listen, when you have a property, that is when during the time that you have that property, that's the best time that you can hit that market. When I got there this morning, I couldn't help but just yell and say, you know what? These could have been our listings. These could have been our listings because if the agent had gone out and sent out postcards and say just coming soon postcards, who knows? They could have had those listings. But for you, I know you're very strong marketing. What has really helped you? I mean, besides, and I'm going to talk a little bit more, but what's the secret of why are you able to make it and other people are not able to make it?
Very easy, Paul. Very easy. It's all marketing. All marketing, and it's the old school way. Just listed, just pending, just sold postcards. Let me give you a couple of examples. We did a property on Cedar Boulevard in Newark. On that particular property, we did not do just listed. However, I believe we did just pending and just sold. Got a listing out of it. Reynolds Drive in Fremont, we did another project that we just sold 2 weeks ago. All we had to do was send a just sold postcard telling other potential sellers or current homeowners that we do, how we market. We're telling them exactly what we're doing, how we're marketing online. I mean, as you know, majority of the home buyers, whether they're first-time home buyers or investors, start their search online. That's the main thing. How do you market it online? That's the one thing that people want to know. And guess what? When they meet me, they see that I'm a young guy. They don't have enough trust on me. They don't have enough faith on me. By the end of the conversation, they're signing the listing agreement. Why? Because they know and they can tell and they can feel the way how I'm telling them that how I market. And they see it. They see it. Reynolds Drive, we sent that listing. We got 2 phone calls. We've got a potential going to be another $750,000 or $800,000 listing. That's another $20,000 in commission. All you need to do is market smart. Again, determination comes into play.
That's just amazing. So, lastly, you do buy and hold, don't you?
Yes, I do.
So tell us about that. Where are you buying, and how's that working out for you?
So I started doing buy and holds in 2011. Of course, you need a lot of capital for that. We started doing that first in the Bay Area. Any property that we buy, if we can get a ROI of 15% or more based on the rental income, we will hold. We will not sell it. We will hold until market goes up and up and up. Once it's the high time, we will probably liquidate 90% of them. However, once I started doing that in the Bay Area, let me backtrack a little bit. As you know, on the flip side, we've gone into Sacramento area. We're obviously in the Bay Area, and we're also in the Los Angeles metropolitan area. So when we started doing buy and holds, we started in the Bay Area and it quickly went down to Sacramento. Because in Sacramento, nothing at all will give you below 20%. 20% ROI, you cannot get it on the stock market. You cannot get it anywhere. You cannot get it at any other market other than real estate, especially a secure market like real estate. Tomorrow, even if my values go down to zero, God forbid, I'm still making 20% on the money.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned just before you joined me. I said there are different vehicles of investing. You have people put money in their CDs, they put money in savings account, they put money in IRA, T bonds and stuff like that. But guess what? There's nothing compared to real estate, especially in this market. Especially in this market, you know. Another thing is you just mentioned that you're making money buying holding properties, and are you holding them for the long term?
Some of
Or you
them
wait? How was your
I
strategy?
consider
You
those
holding it forever, or what is your strategy?
well, my strategy is that I have determined a certain amount of money that I want to make every month. Once I reach that goal, I'm going to semi-retire. Those are the properties that I want to hold forever. Yes. However, I would expect that I will sell at least 50% of the properties and make a huge upside potential on those once the market is sky high. As you already know, we're already in 2005, 2006 prices. So
Right,
I don't think
exactly.
that time is far out.
So you are 26, Basil, and you talk about retiring.
Absolutely. It's all about
Isn't just
financial independence.
amazing? Isn't that very
It
true?
is
What I
all
say,
about
it's
financial
impossible to be
independence.
poor in America. Basil's 26, and talk about retiring, spending. Basil, first of all, takes a lot of vacation. He goes and jet skiing and goes abroad, goes to Mexico, Saudi Arabia, all those places. And he's doing things that the average agent cannot afford to do. I mean, just by doing simple things. He talked about determination, he talked about integrity, and talk about marketing, marketing, marketing. So, why do you think that some people don't do what you do? I mean, basically, for example, every Monday I talk about these things. And in my book, I talk about these things. In the manual, the corporate manual, I talk about these things. But yet, some people don't do these things. What's going on?
Comes down to determination, Paul. As simple as that. People are not committed. People don't want to determine because they give up too easily.
Hmm.
If you give up too easily, real estate is not for you. If you don't have the patience, real estate is not for you. If you don't have money set aside that for the first year you're not going to make money, real estate is not for you. As simple as that. You've got to have the determination to be able to do consistently, consistently, consistently. If you're marketing an area, if you're farming an area, you do it 2 times, 3 times, and then you give up. My advice is get out of the business. You got to
Right.
keep doing it for 6 months, 8 months, a year before you're going to even see any kind of response. And once you start seeing that responses, it's not going to stop. As long as you stay determined and you consistently keep marketing.
Okay, so the average agent, as I said, made only $37,000, and if they live in the Bay Area, that's hardly enough for them to live on. They'll say all this marketing you're talking about requires money. When you started, did you have the money?
No, I did not.
But
When I
what
started,
made you?
I followed exactly what is in your book, and I went out. I showed my determination to potential investors, and they sided with me. They partnered up with me. That's how I started.
Exactly. I remember in 2010 when I started Tri-Cities Investors LLC. You had not started investing, but soon after that, you were, all of a sudden you took off like a rocket. Took off like a rocket, and you talk about integrity and determination. Last week we had Mr. Louis Bartis on the show. Who also, as a real estate agent, a licensed real estate agent, started real estate in 2005 and 2009 he went into private money lending. He raised $6 million, and as of last week he raised $95 million. When I had him on the show, my topic is to make money without any of your own money. Make money without any of your own money. Is that correct? Can you make money without any of your own money?
Absolutely, you can. As long as you're determined and you play smart about it, it's very easy to do that. People think it's extremely hard. It's extremely, extremely easy. I've done it.
That's interesting because basically all you have to do is show people the properties. Like, for example, if you show them your track record, like you talk about a Marjorie Drive, where I remember you guys bought it for $333,000. You didn't even go to the trustees here. You have some guy there. You just tell him, okay, I'm interested in this property, and he bids for you, and then you sold the same property for $485,000, even if you gave the investor just half of the profit. This guy will beg you to do the next deal with him. Isn't that correct?
Absolutely. 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 And every single transaction that I do with my investors, it's basically a CD for my investors. Why would they keep the money in the bank when they can secure it against real estate and make at least 10% within 6 months? Tell me one person who would say no. Let me talk to them for 2 seconds and I'll convince them. It's that easy. There's nothing to convince them about. It's real estate. It's a booming market. That's it. The buck stops right there.
Yeah. Another thing is visibility, right? Like you mentioned before, marketing. It's a visibility equals profitability. So now they begin to see your signs all over the place. And because they see your signs, they see your just listed postcards, they see your open house signs and stuff like that. Guess what happens? Success begets success, right?
True. As you say, the world conspires you to success.
Yeah, when you succeed, the whole world conspires to see you become even more successful. That's what we see with people like Tiger Woods when he was in his heydays. People like, all those basketball players. If a team is very, very good, guess what happens? They get more audience, get more spectators, more people coming to their games. But if you're not successful, guess what? Nobody comes to your games. If a restaurant is successful, even if the food is not the best, guess what happens? Everybody wants to line up just to eat at that restaurant, right? So that's the secret to success, visibility. So, Basil, thank you so much for coming to the show today. I really appreciate you being there. And, man, go multiply and be fruitful and replenish the earth, as they say.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
All right, take care. Thanks. Bye.
All right. We're going to take a quick break right now. When we come back, we're going to talk about future shows that I have coming on. We'll talk about buy and hold. Buy and hold, one of the strategies that Basel and all the investors have is buy and hold. And when we come back, I'm going to talk about the future shows I'm going to have and, talk about single-family residences, condos, multi-family apartments, college, university rentals, corporate housing, retail, office, the hottest out-of-state markets, and of course, the hottest international markets to invest in. We're going to take a quick break right now. When we come back, we talk about these things. You listen to Wealth Solutions for the 99% with Paula Joy.
Think you've seen everything there is to see in online television? Let us surprise you. Visit voiceamerica.tv today for sports, health, business, and more on demand 24/7.
Do you need directions to solid financial future? If so, the Money Answer Show with Jordan Goodman will provide you with a roadmap to making smart money decisions in every area of your personal finances. Join Jordan every Monday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern for the Money Answer Show on the Voice America Business Channel. Learn how and where to get the best deals on mortgages, cars, and insurance. Find out the best ways to save for college and retirement, get out of debt, improve your credit rating, and save on your taxes. The Money Answer Show with Jordan Goodman will provide you with great tips on investment opportunities in real estate, stocks, annuities, and other investment vehicles. That's the Money Answer Show with Jordan Goodman on the Voice America Business Channel every Monday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Are you an entrepreneur that wants to achieve more? Not just in it for profit, but to do work you find meaningful, that adds more value to more people in more ways? Listen for Be More, Achieve More, Inspiration for the Entrepreneurial Mind. With host Chris Cooper, you'll hear from successful achievers from around the world with the passion and experience to offer invaluable guidance. These people are making a difference and will help give you the motivation and insight to achieve more. Be More, Achieve More can be heard live Fridays at 8 a.m. U.S. Pacific Time on the Voice America Business Channel.
We're making it easier to listen to the Voice America Talk Radio Network live wherever you go on iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android. Download it from the Apple iTunes App Store, BlackBerry App World, or Android Market.
You are tuned in to Wealth Solutions for the 99% with Paul LaJoy. We'd love to hear from you on today's program. Please call in to 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. Or email us at lajoysolutions@gmail.com. Now, back to Wealth Solutions for the 99%.
All right, welcome back to Wealth Solutions for the 99% with your host, Paula Joy. In the last segment, we had one of my top associates here, Mr. Basil Yakub, talk about the secret to success. Basil makes over $700,000, consistently, at least for the last 2 years. I'm sure it's going to hit that. And you talk about retiring, semi-retiring. It's not impossible. I have a friend of mine who retired when he was only 28 years old. 28 years old. This guy started a company when he was 22, and by the time he was 28, he retired. He sold his company for $123 million. It's not impossible. No, guess what? It's possible to be very rich in America, and that's what this show is about. I also talk about determination, integrity. I talk about these things in my book. It's impossible to be poor in America. And I think if you're poor today, I've said it before and I keep saying it again. I know some people don't like it, but if you're poor in America, really, if you're poor in America, I think it's because you want to be poor. But I'm about to change that. That's what I do, this show. That's what I do, things I do. Most people were sleeping this morning, but I decided not to sleep, but to come here and do the show, right? My book talks about having a vision. You got to have a vision, strong enough vision that you cannot fail. You have faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not yet seen. You got to have faith. Then, that's faith equals vision. So what do you want for your life? You got a short time to live in this planet. What do you have for your life? What do you want to do for yourself, and how do you want to impact your world? Then you got to take action. You don't just have faith and don't have action. Don't take action. You got to take action. Then when you take action, you don't just have faith and take action and do nothing. No, you got to be passionate about what you do. So that there are going to be times when you don't like or you don't feel like doing what you want to do or what you're called to do, but guess what? Wake up! Take that action and be passionate about it. But sometimes it's going to be very hard. That thing is going to be hard, but guess what? Be determined. Be determined to succeed. Be determined to succeed. Watch athletes, what they do. They exercise. They rehearse. Watch a virtuoso. It did not happen overnight. This person practice and practice and practice. Nothing comes for free. Okay? No pain, no gain. You got to really experience that pain. And then at the end, you become successful. Look at a mother bearing a child. That is hard. Can you imagine a mother who says, oh my goodness, very hard, so I'm going to let this child sit in my stomach? That is stupid. That is very stupid. But the mom has to push that baby out. And when the baby comes out, right, in spite of the pain, the mom is ecstatic. This is my baby. She hugs the baby, she cries. You got to have that determination. And then you got to be disciplined. Those things. You got to be disciplined. Right? But you got to find the right environment. You have to find the right environment. You got to find a mentor. You got to find these things. Right? And then, of course, integrity is paramount. You got to be a man or woman of integrity. And then at the end, when you succeed, don't let pride take over. Don't let pride take over, because it's the beginning of your fall. Right? So I'm so glad that you attended the show today. And I want you to share with everybody. I am determined to help you succeed. Determined to help you succeed. And if there's anything I can do to make that happen for you, I will make it happen for you. Next week, I want to talk about my future shows, buy and hold. We're going to concentrate on buy and hold. And we're going to go around the country. We're going to talk to people who are kicking butt in the buy and hold industry. That means you buy properties and hold on to them, not just flip them. Remember, if we had held on to some of the properties that we sold last year, we would have made $100,000 more. $100,000 more. Nobody has a crystal ball to determine what is going to be in the future. But guess what? Yeah. Buying and holding properties should be some of your strategy. Right? We're going to talk about single families. We're going to talk about condos and townhouses. What's the advantages and disadvantages? We're going to talk about multifamily apartment investing. We're going to have some people, some gurus in this area talk about these things. We're going to talk college or university rentals. Did you know that you can make a lot of money, doing college and university rentals? How about corporate housing? Corporate housing. They'll pay you more. Can you imagine Microsoft brings a big shot into town, and instead of that person staying in a hotel, they stay in a house. The house is your house. You think they're going to pay stipends on that thing? No, they're going to pay higher than the market. We're going to talk about that. We're going to bring some gurus, the big shots in these areas. We're about to talk about retail, how you make money in commercial real estate. Commercial real estate. So far, we've been talking about residential, but we want to talk about big things. We want to start talking about big things. Retail, office, even warehouse. And we're talking about out-of-state markets to invest in. What are the hottest out-of-state markets to invest in? We're going to talk about all those things. We're talking about international markets to invest in as well. For some of you who want to invest abroad, where are the best places to invest in? Where are the best places? We're going to talk about that. Okay? Again, next week, we will talk about profits in university rentals. That will be the first thing that we're going to talk about. Profits in university rentals. You'll be amazed how people are making money. Guess what? In America right now, you have the population of college students has gone up. It's gone up. So how are you capitalizing on that? As an investor, you should take advantage of that. You can make money in real estate right now. That's why I'm passionate about it. The whole of this month and next month, we're going to be concentrating on making money through real estate. In this program, Wealth Solutions for the 99%. If you haven't picked up my book yet, It's Impossible to Be Poor in America. You can get it from Amazon.com, or you can get it from BarnesandNobles.com, or you can go to the website. It's Impossible to Be Poor in America.com. It's Impossible to Be Poor in America.com, or you can go to Wealth Solutions, actually, for the 99%. You just type Wealth Solutions for 99% on Google, or you can go to LoJoySolutions.com, LoJoySolutions.com. Any of this website will land you to a page where you can order this book. You got to have this book. It's a quick read. It's just about less than 200 pages, actually less than 150 pages. You got to pick it up. You heard that what Basil said, that he practices everything that I talk about in that book. Okay, so if you haven't gotten that book, please get it. Somebody called me from New Orleans this week, and you read some article about me in this magazine, the Personal Real Estate Investor magazine. You got to pick up that magazine at the newsstand. If you don't have it, by all means, go online and also look for this magazine. There's some good stuff about this. I'm excited about real estate. How about you? So, as I said, next week and the weeks to come, we're going to talk about many things. Again, we're going to concentrate on the buy and hold, because buy and hold industry is hot. It's very, very hot right now. I was reading yesterday about Philadelphia. Some parts of Philadelphia, you can pick up properties for $10,000. $10,000? Can you imagine that? $10,000 you fix up for $40,000. You can get $800 a month from a property. You got to pick up some of these. How about Detroit, where you pick up a property for $5,000? Some people think that Detroit's a bad market. It's a great market for investors. Guess what? Investors make money when things are distressed. That's just like doctors make money when people are sick, right? You know what? So the best time to buy real estate or to have bought real estate was when the market was down. When the market down, 2008, 2009, 2010, when banks were dumping properties and homeowners were doing short sales left and right, that was the best time to scoop up these properties if you had the crystal ball. It's not too late. We're going to talk about these things as we go forward, right? As I said, we're going to talk about the hottest real estate markets out of state, out of California, but also the hottest real estate markets here in California. So next week, we're going to talk about some of these things. We're going to start with these ones. Well, I want to start first with the university rentals. How do you make money in university rentals? Thank you so much for joining the show today. It's been Paul LaJoy, your real estate consultant for life. And remember, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. Right? Thank you. You have a great day.
Thank you again for listening to Wealth Solutions for the 99%. Please join Paul LaJoy again next Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time on Voice America Business as we continue to help you build your personal wealth.
Thanks again for listening to the preceding program, brought to you on the Voice America Business Channel. For more information about our network and to check out additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit voiceamericabusiness.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the preceding program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk